We begin the day with the faces of Elon Musk, the new owner of Twitter, the man who declares himself a free speech absolutist, went on a suspension spree last night, shutting down the accounts of several reporters from the New York Times, the Washington Post, CNN, Voice of America, and other media outlets. It happened without any warning, and no reason was given. What we do know is that Twitter recently banned an account that tracked the real-time movements of Elon Musk's private jet. Musk claimed that this was doxing. Now, that's when private information such as addresses, phone numbers, and emails are shared online, usually to harass someone. Twitter has since changed its rules. It now prohibits doxing. The suspended accounts from yesterday, they do not belong to reporters who have engaged in doxing. Yet, this is what Musk tweeted today. Same doxing rules apply to journalists as to everyone else. Now, he then went into more detail, tweeting, "They posted my exact real-time location, basically assassination coordinates, in obvious direct violation of Twitter terms of service." Well, shutting down journalists, it does not sit well on this side of the Atlantic. The European Union has threatened Elon Musk with sanctions. European Commission Vice President Vera Jourova tweeting this: "News about arbitrary suspension of journalists on Twitter is worrying. The EU's Digital Services Act requires respect of media freedom and fundamental rights. This is reinforced under our Media Freedom Act. Elon Musk should be aware of that. There are red lines and sanctions soon." Well, one of the journalists who suddenly discovered that his Twitter account had been suspended joins me now. Steve Herman. He's the chief national correspondent with Voice of America. Steve joins me now from Whitewater, Virginia, which is just south of Washington, D.C. Steve, it's good to have you with us. Do you have any idea why your account was suspended?
Well, I don't know for sure because Twitter never notified me of any reason. Something just popped up on my account saying that it was suspended, and then later there was another message popping up saying I was permanently suspended. It obviously had to do with tweets that I had been putting out about the other journalists who had been suspended for tweeting about an account that follows Elon Musk's jet that itself had been suspended. So this was growing larger and larger, and it's obvious that I was one of those who fell victim to what appears to be a pretty arbitrary and inaccurate description of why we were banned.
Yeah, but because Musk has been claiming that journalists have been suspended, their accounts have been suspended because they've been committing doxing. But I mean, just to set the record straight, you and the journalists whose accounts were suspended last night, you were not publishing any real-time information about anyone's whereabouts, correct?
Absolutely not, including Elon Musk, which is what this is really about, apparently. And to say that these journalists were engaged in doxing, which would be giving out, as you said, somebody's location in real time, their home address, their private phone number for the intent of causing harm to them, to accuse the journalists of this, including myself, is false, ridiculous, and I probably could think of a few other words that we can't say on the air.
Yeah. You know, it seems that in the last few weeks, Twitter has become all about Elon Musk. And I dare say that this is not what most people were expecting when he took over the company, or am I sugarcoating our memories of the recent past? I mean, how do you see it?
Yes, well, I have been tweeting a lot about Twitter because if you're on Twitter, you're interested in what's happening with Twitter. Mm-hmm. I'm not a full-time tech journalist. I don't cover the Twitter beat, the Tesla beat, the Elon Musk private jet beat, any of those sort of things. But it has gotten an increasing amount of attention of journalists such as myself who are very active on Twitter. So we have been tweeting and retweeting others about what we have seen as greater instability on Twitter, both on the legal, administrative, and technical side.
Talk to me about reaction on your side of the Atlantic. I mean, has there been any reaction coming from members of Congress or from the White House?
Yes, a number of members of Congress have put out statements today about their concern regarding this. And I expect there will be, as the hours go on, more reaction to this, and unless these accounts, including mine, are unconditionally reinstated fairly quickly.
And Steve, what do you make of the swift and the very direct warning that came from the European Union, addressed directly to Elon Musk?
Well, as you're well aware, there are different levels of engagement regarding regulations concerning social media and the internet on the different shores of the Atlantic. And I'm not surprised to see the sort of quick and forceful response from the European Union, especially. I think they tend to be much more proactive and react a little quicker to these things. And although things here in the United States and Congress are politically very divided, and this is a time of year where not much gets done, there probably will be more congressional scrutiny of these social media platforms engaging in these sort of activities in the future.
And what happens next for you? I assume your account, it hasn't been reinstated so far. Are you counting on it being reinstated at some point?
I would sure hope so. I would only do it if it's unconditional. I will not delete or take down any of the tweets that I tweeted out if it is meant as some sort of acknowledgement that I did something wrong in any way. I have made alternative plans, so to speak. I did set up as an insurance policy a couple of months ago, I think it was, accounts on other social media platforms. Last night, when this happened, I had 3,100 followers on Mastodon, and that's well over 20,000 last time I checked this afternoon, my time. I had 112,000 followers on Twitter. So Mastodon I don't see as a replacement for Twitter, but it is some sort of alternative.
Steve Herman with Voice of America. Steve, we appreciate you taking the time and sharing your story with us, and we'll be following to see what happens to those accounts. Thank you.
Thank you.